Hey there everybody, this is AJ for the Mighty Glue Stick channel. Today I'm going to review a couple of products that I bought for myself. This is not a paid promotion, by the way. This is just me talking about what I use to make to paint miniatures. So this is the Army Painter Mega Brush set and the Army Painter Mega Paint set. So I buy this like once a year to pretty much take care of all of my painting needs. Starting off with the Mega Brush set, I go through brushes quite slowly because I take care of them quite well. And I've always been curious about what's in this paint set. I've never bought one of this. I've always bought them individually before. So I'm going to have a look at what's inside the box and tell you what I find. So we've got, there's like 10 brushes here. And, a little guidebook. Nice. And, this is the Wargammer Army Painting Guide, which has got a lot of information in it. So we've got step 1, spray, step 2, paint, step 3, dip, step 4, done. There's guides on assembly, spraying miniatures with color primers. We've got different palettes that you can use. This is interesting. There's the color combination charts. And talking about colors for all the outfits, colors that match. And this is color combinations, the highlight chart. So going from a darker tone to a lighter tone for highlighting. Finer details, some more information on brushes. You'll probably be familiar with Army Painter Quick Shades, which is essentially, it's almost like a furniture polish that you dip your miniature in and runs off. It's quite good. Really good for easy highlighting and putting in the shadows and things. Yeah, lots of really good information in here on practical tips on varnishing and basing, finishing, different painting techniques that you can use. And and also the tufts. I've got some tufts here that I bought a while ago. I've only used a few of them on my really nice miniatures, but they're really good and easy. There's sort of a self-adhesive tuft that you can stick onto a miniature base. And I also use some flock, just some grass type flock. I actually paint this flock whatever color I need it. So I just have one lot of flock. All right. So yeah. Very good. Okay, onto the brushes. Let's have a look here. And this is just a little product guide. This is all the different stuff that they sell. So you got all the different tools, trimming tools, paints, inks, glues, brushes, the full range. Army Painter basically takes care of everything you need to do miniature painting, basically. Right, so let's have a look. I keep these plastic containers, by the way, because they've got a resealable lid, so it's really good for keeping your paints organised. Your brushes and things organised. I keep all my tools and stuff in them as well. Obviously, you can fit way more than just these few brushes in there. Okay, gee, that is a mega load of brushes. Ugh, got stuck on there. Get off. There we go. Okay. So we've got, this is your, I think this is the, so this is the large dry brush. It's angled, and this is the stippling brush. So the idea is that it's a really rough, almost like a wedge of brushes, and you can push down on a miniature and make a stippling effect, or you can scrape your finger across it and spray paint on a surface, stippling, right? Dab, dab. And there's the large dry brushing brush, which is angled there so you can, because you do it in a sort of a brushing backwards and forwards motion, and it's a lot tougher than your regular brush. They're designed to take a bit of abuse, those. Which one's this? This is it's the monster brush, so it's like a large, longer brush with a finer tip, and it's for painting medium medium large surfaces, and it retains a lot of paint. And it's also difficult to put in there, so I'm going to do that later. Here's this is a large vehicle brush, and obviously this is for covering a lot of ground, so that's your biggest brush in the set. Then we've got, where is a regiment brush? This is you pretty much your, oh no, so this is the small dry brush. Same sort of thing. Brush it back and forward with an almost dry brush. That's why they call it dry brushing. That's your regiment brush. That's your go-to. You use that for pretty much everything. Most people would get by with just buying a regiment brush, and that would do them for pretty much everything you need to do on a miniature. And a finer detail. That's the detail brush. And then this is the extra special masterclass Kalinsky brush. So that's a really fine quality brush. So I'm interested in how this one's going to go. Sorry, it's a bit blurry. But it's a relatively fine detail brush, but not as fine detail as these ones. So we've got the detail brush. It's really small. It's good for doing faces and hair follicles, hair tones and things like stripes of hair. This is the insane detail brush, and then you've got the psycho brush. So these are really, really fine points. This is for like illustrating eyeballs and veins on eyes and things like that. Like it's really fine. You can count the bristles, and this one's just crazy fine. It's tiny. If that was metal, it would be a pin, is what I'm saying. It's really fine. And that's them. Okay, good. Really happy with those. That's a good set. I bought these off my local online. We've got a sort of a Amazon variant, a small local Amazon place called Mighty Ape in New Zealand. Also not advertising for them. Okay, on to the star of the show. As you can see, this just reseals. Very handy. I also test paints on those things as well. And I pour wash stuff on there as well. Okay, so this is the Army Painter Mega Set. It's expensive, but it's got everything, pretty much everything in the range. It's got 50 war paint pots in total. And each of these is it's a dropper bottle. It's 6.6 fluid ounces or 18 milliliters, which doesn't sound like a huge amount, but it's quite generous. They usually last me quite a long time. They come with a free regiment brush, which is that go-to brush that I was saying before. That if you wanted to have a go-to, it does everything brush, that's the regiment brush. And it comes with that triangular handle for easy holding on your paint. It comes with another painting guide, just the same as the one I showed you before. Nice. And there's a lot of paints in here. There's 39 acrylic war paints. That's all the different colours. You'll see as I go through them that they've got different labels and things for the different types of paint they are, different rolls. So there's the new, latest colour scheme they've got on it, or design scheme they've got on the labels. This is one of the washes, and dark tone is just a black wash. So that's like their quick shades. As you can see, it's called the quick shade. And there's a couple of different varieties of it in here. And yeah, so they're nicely organized. And you'll see down the bottom there, see the $100% match? That means that this paint matches one of their spray primers perfectly. So it's exactly the same color when it goes on and dries, which is kind of important if you're using that as a base coat. And yeah, that's just how it looks. Wizard's Orb Green. I love the names they have for all these different paints. Highly meaningless, but whatever. And as I go through the set. Nice dropper bottles. Sorry if I'm just sort of fanboying and admiring them. So they've got metallic paints in here as well. And there's a whole heap. That's what the metallic label looks like now. This is the gold. Or is it weapons bronze? No, that's the greedy gold. Let's try and get it to focus. Doesn't like it. So there's 5 different metallic wall paints. You've got weapons bronze, greedy gold, gunmetal, which I use quite a lot, and mithril plate mail, and shining silver. So I use this shining silver as a highlight mostly. I don't put it on a large surface. And yeah, there's soft tone quick shade. I usually use the dark tone for most stuff. You can get away with just sort of dipping your dark tone. And oak brown, you use a lot of that. There's a shining silver. Very nice. What's this one? Dragon red. All right. Last one. There's the strong tone. That's the one I use the most often. I got a large pot of the strong tone, and it'll last me forever. And of course white. You're going to need some more white at some point. White and black you use a lot of. Mostly white, because you're mixing white with things to get a lighter tone. I generally use paints undiluted, straight out of the pot. Maybe I shouldn't, but that's just what I do. I find that, particularly because I'm using them on bones miniatures, which are plastic, vinyl all the time. The vinyl doesn't like paint which is watered down with water. It really doesn't like it. It's water. It sort of beads off the bones plastic. So if you put the paint on straight, undiluted, it covers really well. I also recommend, and it's not in this Megas Painter set, but get yourself some anti-shine matte varnish, also from War Paints. I'm a bit disappointed they don't include this in the Mega set here, but this is what I use to finish off my miniatures after I've done the paint job. Yeah, definitely get yourself some of that. It's worth its weight in gold. Or similar, if you can find some matte varnish that you can paint on. You only need a little bit, so a pot of it will last you a very long time. You basically just dry brush it on. And yeah, there we go. The whole set. I'm just going to pop that in there. It's good that they give you a little extra space. And that just all fits back together. Of course, I'm going to take them all out of this and put them in a rack that I make out of 2-ply cardboard. Maybe I'll show you how to make one of those later on. So there we go. Pretty good purchase. Not the cheapest thing in the world to do, but it's cheaper than buying all of those paints individually, and you get everything you need. So 1 thumbs up. Must have for anybody who's painting miniatures. Catch you later, everybody.